Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Dexter Resurrection Review Series. I'm the ponytail guy, Travis Snell, and I'm joined by...
I am the fan, Kirkland Patzer.
I'm the trophy case, Taylor Field.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the trio, the GV3, are back together. Taylor's back after a couple weeks of saying he had something, but really didn't have something. But here he is. And, he'll be covering for Kirkland in a couple weeks. But we are here to talk about episode 4 of Dexter Resurrection, which, I'm sure we'll tell the newscast, doing very well. Showtime's biggest streaming series. So we're going to be going to we're going to get Resurrection. We're going to get the Redemption, whatever we're going to get. Just, you're going to open up the Paramount Plus or Showtime app. It's just going to be Dexter all over. But we're here. So as usual, we're here. Oh my fuck. I got a cut right here on the inside of my lip. God, that's brutal actually to talk.
What caused it?
Eating pussy. I as usual
teeth? Feel bad for that one.
No, it's just a little, it's just right there. It's just, and I haven't talked that much today, so now I'm talking, but it's all good. But we're here to talk about Dexter. As usual, we'll give our non-spoiler
salt vinegar chips.
No, I haven't. No, what I had for dinner was fuck, what did I have? Oh my god, my memory's shooting away. Yeah, those fucking freeze. No, I just had some leftover Chinese food, nothing sharp, so who knows what happened. But maybe Dexter's after me, some serial killer. But as usual, we're going to give our non-spoiler thoughts, and then we're going to get into the spoiler section. We'll take a little break and let you know before we do that. Kirkland Patzer, you were here last week. We talked about, we're going into that part of the show that we were, I can say most worried about without whether you like the show so far or not. I think all of us are like, okay, Dexter going to a dinner with a bunch of serial killers. Here we go. Some minor spoilers, but they said that last week, and we literally pick up with the first 5 minutes of Dexter's getting ready to go to dinner, and that's what this episode's about. So, how did this do for you? We're almost at the halfway point. Next week's the halfway point, so we're almost there.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed what we got here. I feel like at this point in the show, I was waiting for. Or I guess I should say up until now, I was just waiting for the big jump into the deep end of the pool. When we get introduced to all these characters that were announced that we hadn't seen yet. We had seen Uma Thurman, but that was about it. So to just see these other players and, I was mentioning in episodes past how I was waiting to see the Kurt characters or that level of just interesting dynamics in the show, and I feel like this episode kind of gave us some of that, and I am excited to see how some of these dynamics play out, especially with what happened kind of at the tail end of this episode. But no, I was really, really impressed with Kristen Ritter character in particular. I thought she was a big standout, and just excited to see just Dexter interacting with more of those characters. Some of the Harrison stuff too is continuing to be interesting to me. That was kind of my highlight so far of the season. But yeah, I know I am enjoying what we got here, but that doesn't really change my overall holdups that I had for the show overall, which is kind of where Dexter is on his journey. Although
even
this
more
does
so
help.
now, there's something that happens again where I'm we've just completely regressed this character back to point one, which again, just like last week when we talked about. I can't remember. There's a plot point where it's well, if this leads to that, then maybe it could be redeemed. Same thing. There's one thing they do where I'm okay, well, if they use this for that, then maybe that's good. But again, as we get news of breaking all these records, Dexter Resurrection doing great. It's do I believe anything's going to lead anywhere? Nah, we're just getting back to Dexter being Dexter. He learned nothing.
Yeah. And last thing I'll say, I had a lot of fun with just some of other. I don't know if you call them Easter eggs or just callbacks to previous stuff in the show. I thought all of that was really, really great. So it was a nice high. I feel like this is my peak episode so far this season, so it was a nice kind of upswing with how I was in the last couple of weeks. But I did enjoy this one.
Yeah, I'll go right now because I'm pretty much right in line with Kirkland where the issues that I have with this show I don't think are going to change. But as I said before, I'm trying to accept this as a fun Dexter fan fiction what if. It's always tough, right? Because they'll do something and go, ugh, why, what was the point of this? There's some, again, they did here. It's what's the point of New Blood? Again, where it's just they just go back and they don't retcon something. It's just I learned this. And that's you know what? I need to do this again. Or even they go back to stuff where, back to season 4 where Dexter's learned some stuff. And here he's making the exact same mistake. And Harry's you're making this mistake. And Dexter's like, yeah, I know. It's like, okay, cool. You learn nothing from Rita, nothing from Trinity. So it's in that thing where if I can check myself at the door, yeah, this was a fun episode. I think Peter Dinklage was really fun this episode. He was good as like the host, and I think him and Michael C. Hall like a really good back and forth. Still kind of waiting for Uma Thurman to like kick into gear. Like, she's a phenomenal actress, and so far she's just stoic bodyguard. And it's like, I'm hoping, because you got Uma, that later on, like in the halfway season, there'll be more to that. But if it's just her, it's like, you could have got anybody for that. I would rather her play one of the serial killers, or like we said, the cop. Like, I'm just waiting. Like, you have this bigger actress and kind of doing nothing. But everybody else, tons of fun. But we knew that, right? Kristen Ritter, Neil Patrick Harris, David Dastmalchian, Eric something Stone. I can't remember his name. But like, they're all fun actors, and this was a fun episode. So I think if you can buckle up and just have fun with it that way, of we're just having a Dexter, adventure, that's good. I do same thing. I like the stuff with Harrison. Very curious where that goes. I'm liking that Batista's getting more entwined in the show, because the first few episodes it was like he had the meeting with Dexter, and then since then it feels like he gets like a scene an episode, where here he had 3, and I'm like, yeah, good. Like, let's spend less time with like the fucking Bee Gees cop and more time with Batista. David Zayas is a good actor. He has connections to these characters. So I agree. I think this was the best episode yet, just for the pure funness of it. But story-wise, yeah, still there's some questionable stuff. But you just gotta, I'm trying my best to hope, maybe this is the last week, I'll just mention that, where just from now on, take it as anything story-wise they're doing, I'm not a big fan of, or I have questions. But maybe if they turn around positively, then I will bring that up again. But for just an introduction to what's going to be happening, I thought it was a good setup, and I'm excited to see more of the world and more of Dinklage. Like I said, I think Dinklage was tons of fun. And yes, the Easter egg portion this season's definitely, between the first episode, between this, definitely hitting on those strings for the old school fans, good or not. I thought we were getting something. We didn't. I was really disappointed. We see a certain object, and I was like, oh, fuck, we're getting this cameo. Still didn't, so I was bummed about that. But yeah, Taylor, you've been gone past couple weeks. What do you think about this episode and season so far?
Oh, man. This episode and last week's episode are just, I'm riding a high. I really, really am. Really, really happy with how things went in the previous episode. And again, with the trailers, the later trailers, and just seeing certain reveals and whatnot, I was getting a little bit anxious, but I always do. When it comes to Dexter. I feel like they show something in the trailer and I get anxious, but I watch it and I fucking fall head over heels for it. I'm just eating it up. It's so freaking good. And this episode blew it out of the water for me. I got to leave work early. I came home. No one was here for like a good hour and a half, so I just got to sit, put on the episode, and I was like, "Fuck, this is
naked in the tank
amazing."
top.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
cooking chicken.
Yeah,
pants off. Yeah, cast iron wok was out. 2 Jones sodas in. It was just a damn good time, and holy shit, there was so much that just happened in this episode, and even the way it ended too. I just feel like we just covered a lot of different ground, and I'm riding the high of just Dexter being Dexter again in this. And there's one scene that's I was so excited. I was just telling Madison about it when I was picking her up after work, because the scene that happened with what Dexter was doing, like that one moment, just it got me so energized and pumped up. Like, fuck yeah, Dexter Morgan. This is great. It got.
What scene is that? I'm very curious to see what the scene is.
It was just awesome. It was awesome, but yeah, there's not much I can really break down without going into spoilers, because I feel like everything is spoilers. But the stuff that I was worried about, they did it in a very different way that I'm very much on board for, and it's that classic Dexter when something interests him and he goes against his judgment and he bends the rules of like the code to support him doing what he wants to do. And it's just that classic Dexter, and it always leads to something very, very bad happening in his world, so I'm excited to see how it's going to go this time around, because obviously it's going to go bad. But also too, what the first episode introduced with, I guess it's not a spoiler because we saw last week what was going on. But with the first episode introduced with Batista, I'm thinking he's just going to be in that first episode, and then Dexter's going to like run off and Batista's just going to disappear. I'm so happy. Like last week's episode when we got Masuka and Quinn and Batista, that was fucking awesome. And they snuck in the Masuka laugh, which I very much appreciate. But just everything going on with that ongoing story with Batista, what's going on there, I fucking love it. It's just getting so so in it.
Yeah? You lose your train of thought there or something?
Interesting. No. Interesting.
Taylor
There's
said
a
to
loop
the fucking
now.
loop option. I had to look at, how do we get the loops out of here?
There you go. I
The
turned it
loops,
off.
yeah, loops are dangerous. Oh, good. You someone who was that you, Kirkland, added that?
I added it. Yeah.
Good. We were
It's-
looking for that.
I had to
so.
delete some stuff in there. Our
I was about
vibrator
to
was getting a
blame
little bit
Travis. You
over-
deleted that fucking giggly laugh thing. You deleted it, Kirkland.
I
You
don't
son
wanna
of
hear
a
that
bitch.
one
I didn't like that either. It was too loud. It was too loud. It was like, at least, like, we do have one loud one. But that's like a jump scare one. The laugh is like it hurts the brain waves in there.
You need to
know?
balance
So-
the volume if you're gonna add that one back in.
But yeah, there's a couple we could clean. But well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. So if you've not seen the episode, bounce out now. We're gonna take our first ad break, and then we'll be right back after this to break down some spoilers. We'll be right back. And we're back. Shout out to our Patreon producers: Aaron Brain, April Darkness, Jack Grant, Sam, Superbad Mike, God Loves Me 69, Jeremy Renner, Charlie Randall, Cocktail,
I know what meme you're looking at.
Cock Clay. What they want, cock. John with no H. Thank you very much, because you were Patreon producers at the top tier, supporting the show, getting every benefit. And if you want to join Patreon from phase 2 and up, lots of benefits, but you could listen to this episode. Every episode we do ad-free, so you wouldn't get any of those breaks. You get our entire backlog. You can get exclusive episodes, Calling After 9. Join our Trivia Battle August 9th, which is our GB Day, our 10-year anniversary stream, going 10 hours, maybe longer. There is going to be some stretch goals of things we do that day, things we could record, things we could release as far as benefits. If you join Patreon, up your Patreon subscription, or send a super chat that day. But we're at least going 10 hours. Lots of fun stuff, 7 events, bunch of faces from the past, montages, best of, just a very good time. I'm very happy with how the day is shaping up. So join us there. That's going to be probably one of our best days we've ever done here at GeekVerse, and I can't wait. And yeah, tons of other stuff. We reviewed Fantastic Four, lots of newscasts last week. Me and Dylan reviewed Donkey Kong Bonanza, and then soon other TV shows. Alien, Taylor, not too far away. Cut 2 weeks away. 3 weeks away, Peacemaker. So we're going to have lots going on in the TV sphere. So we'd appreciate if you don't join Patreon. That's completely fine. We get it. But if you like what we're doing, the best way to support us is subscribe somewhere. YouTube, audio feeds, wherever you prefer, and the Discord. We're in there. Other listeners, it's a good time. It's always fun, kind of in the summer, these big releases. sorry, Kyle, for your terrible Fantastic Four experience. We're just popping up about Predator, and he's like, I fucking hate these people in the theater. But that's why, you join the Discord, because it's just like Geek First 24/7. So, and I love all the people in there. So, oh god! So I know exactly where I want to start, because this is my biggest con, and then I can kind of get that away when I said like stuff that bugs me. I guess it's 2 was 1. So obviously, it's funny because they put out all these actors, right? It's like, wow, stat cast, like Dexter, like got a lot of budget. They still do, but when they killed Neil Patrick episode in the first episode that he was in, I'm like, oh, that's what's gonna happen. All these people are gonna die off really quickly. That's how you can afford them for like a 1 and 2, and that's completely fine. That's cool. Like what better than just like Dexter killing a random killer than getting a great actor to play that killer, right? That works. So I'm excited to see everybody else. I'm very excited for the David Dastmalchian one, because I think he's a very underrated actor, and already I feel like him and Dexter were like eyeing each other up multiple times of like just mother and fuckering. It's like, okay, I can't wait to see this. But when they talk a lot about trophies this episode and the urge, so what do we get? Which I don't know how Dexter's gonna store this fucking thing, but Dexter decides, okay, well, gotta go back to basics. He says he cuts the cheek and he finds 2 pieces of glass, because Neil Patrick Harris thing is he kills people and then strips the tattoo skin off their body and keeps that as his trophy. So he has in this glass case. Dexter breaks the glass, even though it's still a fucking massive blood slide. He does his classic, cut the cheek, and he does that. And yeah, he says back to basics. This is where I was like, when I enjoyed New Blood, the first time he killed a guy, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was dead. Like he was dead. Yeah, he killed him and then he died. And then Dexter started to take the blood slide and he broke, and he's like, I'm a different kind of monster. Like, I love in New Blood, he talked about the blood slide as like, that is such a pathetic thing like I used to do. Like I'm so much better than that monster who was like, oh, like remember, you've been watching the show, Kirkland, when he loses blood slides and he gets them, he's like, oh, like he's like hyperventilating when he finds them sometime. That's why I loved in New Blood, where it's been like 10 years. He's like, I'm not a fucking child anymore. Like, I don't need these trophies. So when he took the blood slide, I'm like, we've fully just gone back on everything we did in New Blood. But my hope is, I don't think it's going to happen, but my hope is, what would be a good reason for him to take blood slides? That'd be a perfect way for Batista to fucking catch this guy again. So if we somehow do get to him getting caught in the chair, locked for life, whatever, if the blood slides are a way of like, they catch Dexter Morgan, they're like, why do you have blood slides? And it took the bar, like Bay Harbor Butcher. Why'd you cut the guy up a knife? Like, if it starts to finally put together, then I will retcon this and say, I like it because Dexter's making this mistake. Because again, my last point on the really negative stuff is the ponytail killer guy. He's like, yeah, I have my family, and Dexter's like, you have a family? And he's like, yeah, and then I take these trips, I cool off, and I come back, I'm a better man for it. And then he's in the car with Harry, and he's like, he has a family, he's making it all work, like it's just so impressive. And Harry's like, why are you taking advice from him? It's literally what happened with Trinity. It's the exact same beat for beat that he kept Trinity alive because he thought he could learn from him, and then just learned he's a monster. And what happened? Rita got fucking killed. And then he learned, hey, I can't ever do that again. And here we are. Dexter has a son in New York, and what's he doing? Oh, he has a family. He could make it work. He's an idiot. He's a fucking... This character has regressed so poorly. It sucks, like with the blood slides and this. Again, I hope Batista fucking catches this guy. I hope he gets locked up. I hope Dexter's done for good. But so that's my hope, is if they make this that, it is the downfall because Dexter didn't learn and he thought he could go back to the old way, but you can't. Then I'll be like, okay, that's a good story of a guy making the same mistakes again and it catching up with him. I just don't think that's the story they're doing. I think they're just like, well, he has Harrison, so let's get the family killer. And people love the blood slides. Let's bring that back so we can sell some Showtime merch and stuff. But, my TED Talk's over.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with all those points, and that's why, I said in the spoiler-free section, it's just like, I kind of have to just look past, like, where we are on, the continuity of Dexter's journey, because, yeah, there is just so many things that it's like, I feel like we've already resolved this thing in Dexter's life, and then it's like, we're just gonna completely throw it to the side to tell this version of the story, and it's like, okay, whatever. Let me just see these other interesting actors, and their new characters. So, for me being able to look past that, I am still able to get some enjoyment, but there is some moments that just are so cringy. It's like, this is just so stupid.
Yeah. There's sometimes where I don't think they could make it work because I don't think TV works like that, but I always wonder if they did like the Halloween thing or some other franchises like Superman Returns, like if they just literally said, hey, we're just going to ignore those seasons. Like, we don't have to... No, like literally those seasons didn't happen and we're going to start Dexter back here and we're just going to go. And I know people are like, that might sound dumb, but it's like, countless franchises have done that now, movies, and it's worked, right? And there's almost part of me wonders if I would have been able to enjoy it more. Like, okay, this is literally a diversion of, what if? Like, in this version, he's a fucking lumberjack, and that's his life. But in this version, this stuff happens, and, X, Y, and Z. But,
the only way I can see them, like, achieving that now, because we've just gone so far down this rabbit hole, is they just introduce, like, the literal multiverse of Dexter, and there's, like, variants, and it's just, we go cosmic, and, like...
Dexter shows up at the end.
I'm not opposed.
That would be wild. Just another Dexter kills Dexter. Like, you haven't been following the code, so... Tay, what do you think about this stuff? The blood slides being back, he's kind of taking some advice from some killers again. Harry's like, you like these people, eh? You fucking loser. Harry hates his son. Every shot of James Remar, who's great, but it's just like, he's just so disappointed in Dexter, like, don't play with your food, like all this stuff. And, Dexter's not listening, of course, but yeah, what do you take from some of this stuff?
Well, first of all, we were so close to having, It's so close. I wanted it to happen.
I literally said in the preview, like, it's going to be his love interest. First episode, she's like, hey, you want to fuck in the shower? Like, literally, no waiting. He's also killer. He could turn, but no waiting. She's like, yeah, let's DTF. So it's coming, though. Literally.
Yeah, I think, all in all, I'm eating it up. Him being there undercover as opposed to what the trailer was selling, that he's just there and it's like invited and this weird collectors kind of thing. I like that this guy's... He has them there for a reason, which we're going to find out. I'm assuming he uses them as like contract killers or something like that to go and do something, and he keeps things a secret. But again, we'll figure that out later. We don't know yet.
Some kind of serial killer squad.
I just think him being there again undercover, that was great. And yeah, he's reverting to his old ways, and I'm a sucker. I'm a glutton for punishment whenever that happens.
You're the one getting them.
Him trying to see what it's like to have the family and live this life, and he did that with the Trinity Killer and everything. And then here he is, you got Rapunzel walking in, and a new
he's
blood.
Done this twice, and it failed both times.
Done
so
it twice,
third time's a charm.
Then you got Rapunzel walking in, and he's just seeing and kind of like just captivated by all this, and then. Yeah, it was eerie him walking in this trophy room and seeing all of these different things that are associated with these killers. And I got goosebumps when he saw the Dexter slides, and then when he's like, "Yeah, I got it from some gambling cop or whatever," and I thought, "Oh, that's kind of crazy." And it's just him, like Dexter, just like grazing his hand over the slides and whatnot.
Don't
like
touch
all
those.
this, he's just in there. It's like, man, that would just be. Not that I'm trying to put myself in Dexter's shoes, but just to think about him being in that position and it's how long, and just to see that, and then just to see the hammer that he held too for the Trinity Killer. Just that's why after all of this, and when he had Tattoo Man basically like dead to rights, and Tattoo Man was just like this isn't your MO or whatever. He's like, no, I'm the Bay Harbor Butcher. Just that look of fear in his eyes because he knew who the Bay Harbor Butcher was.
No sense to me.
I was just like, oh my god, the up and comings, fuck yeah, like this is just crazy.
Because like. Neil Patrick Harris wakes up and he's like, well, you're not really reacting. He's like, well, I've been on the other side and I know I'm kind of done for, like, whatever. So, like, when Dex like, I'm the Bay Harbor Butcher, you would think that means, oh, this Bay Harbor Butcher, he, like, tortures you, he sexually assaults you, like, he does all this stuff, right? But it's like, he's still just going to do what Neil Patrick Harris thought he was going to do. Like, he was going to get killed. So it made no sense from the tattoo guy's perspective to be like, oh, you're actually going to kill me? It's like,
no, it's not that I think you're actually going to kill me. I think it was just a shock that like the Bay Harbor Butcher in this world is up there, I'd say, with like Gacy and with all these other
you're not James Stokes.
with up there with all these other serial killers, especially when they found like his huge like graveyard of bodies, and when they learned too that he's targeting like killers and whatnot, all this kind of stuff. Like he's got a massive history, and so when you think that he died or he's dead or whatnot, this little group of serial killers, they're all definitely just not like they're small time. They've killed like not anywhere near the Bay Harbor Butcher level.
I guess, and I don't know if it's Neil Patrick Harris. I think it was direction of it. I just don't think they should have had him react so loud for the death.
That's
like
fair. Yeah,
he got so over like reaction. Like I get like I wish you would have played it solid because I get that that's true in that world. It's like this is a guy that operated for many years. And I would very much love, because some shows do this and they haven't done this. I would love if Dexter like stumbled upon like the Bay Harbor Butcher movie, like a movie they made about those situations. Like I think that could be kind of fun if we're getting wacky. Like see like a different famous actor playing Sergeant James Stokes and look like that'd be kind of fun. Of like, especially we're bringing that's all what Batista's about, right? He's bringing that back. And imagine if he goes home to his fucking taxi, whatever, and what you watch, like, oh, you've never seen this movie before, and like he's seeing actors play, his even Deb, right? Like those type of things. Like I would love if they win up that and play, and I would have probably put that before then. So I agree with you on that part of the Bay Harbor Butchery is a big significance. I got the excitement from seeing the Aisha Killer bloodletting table, like that, and that was my disappointment. I thought for sure, oh fuck, we're getting Christian Camargo, we're gonna get Brian Moser right here, because that's the one that I still think was missing out of the, like, because you got Harry, Trinity, Jimmy, and then you got Dokes obviously, but Brian to me is such an important, especially because Brian's come up almost every episode. It's felt like Harry talked about him episode 1. He came up another, so I think there's another time he came up, and then this episode, same thing of Dinklage is like, oh, if he had someone to talk to, maybe he would have been, had a better path. And Dexter's like, well, I don't think so. But the point is supposed to be like, if he would have had, we talk about an original sin, right? Like, what if Harry would have still like tried to stick around a little bit more for Brian? Granted, Brian was fucking trying to show, wasn't he like trying to suffocate Deborah or something like that? Yeah, that all this bad origin stuff they gave him, but still. I get what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to signify that Dexter they're trying to gaslight us into this version that Harrison needs Dexter, even though we know that is like the worst possible situation. But I thought we were getting them, and we didn't. So I was a tad disappointed. Didn't hurt my score. Just like, oh, I thought I was getting ready. I was like, oh, he's gonna pop up, and nothing.
Yeah, it definitely. Now that you've highlighted, I feel like it feels like a big gap, considering we've already seen like all these other characters of Dexter's past, and I was hoping that like maybe there's a chance that we would see him later on, but it seemed pretty like definite. Dexter's just line like countering Dinklage's when he said like if he had somebody to talk to, he was like, no, fuck that. That wouldn't work.
The only thing I could see it is like if Dexter, it's not gonna happen. But if he were to get arrested and give him the chair or something like that, I wonder if that's when you'd save the Brian moment of Dexter's literally about to die, and that's one of the last people he sees. I still think they'd probably go with Harry, to be honest, because that's a full circle thing. But I think there would be kind of some fun thing if he had because that's something I've been disappointed about. We got in Original Sin. I would love Ghost Harry and Ghost Brian have a fucking scene together. I know they're ghosts and they're in Dexter's mind, but just that dynamic of those two, especially now what they've given us,
it's like
with
only
Original
them.
Sin.
Like Michael C. Hall is not even in the scene. They're just like in some parking lot having like a ghost argument.
Because don't forget that Brian almost chainsawed Harry on a fucking roof or whatever, right? So it's like they've been through some stuff apparently. So, but yeah, I think you're
right. The Original Sin like story just feels like DLC on the Dexter
100%
of just the things that they added on to like his early story, especially,
and they don't fit like anything else that's happened in the show or now. They don't refer back to it, or it feels like when you play Mortal Kombat and every character has an ending like what if Liu Kang this is like what if Brian Moser won, and it's just like, well, he's gonna kill Harry with that, he's gonna suffocate Dev, but yeah, no, the trophy room was very cool. You got the Trinity stuff, you saw a bunch of stuff, and it's just kind of funny how Dexter's like a part of like the three massive serial killers in history with Trinity, Ice Truck, and the Bay Harbor Butcher. But that's what we're dealing with. And no, I thought it was a fun scene. Like I said, I think Dinklage sold that all well. I believe this guy wanted to be a creepy serial killer collector. That all worked for me. I think Dinklage, being that talented, sold it for me. And I still really don't know what he wants, because like I know Taylor said like contracted killers, but it's just like I feel like this guy would have enough money just to hire a hitman, right? So I feel like it's something more than that. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just something he's gonna want like fucking videotapes them doing this stuff. I really don't know, but I feel like it has to be more than a contracted killer, but I don't have the answer. So
I have to say I really like that scene where when Dexter was going here and why can't I remember her freaking name? Poison Ivy. That's how I know her.
Uma Thurman.
Yes, thank you, Uma Thurman. So when she's kind of just bragging about the fact that, it took me only 3 weeks to figure it out, and just Dexter's like, it took me 3 days, and all that kind of stuff. Just
cocky motherfucker.
He's like laughing to himself.
Another thing is
I've ruined so many lives, but fuck am I smart, eh?
What really fucking got me too when he's in there, did you see those fucking that meat on the bone? Holy shit, those were like 5 inches thick. That was fucking thick. And when he's like, we know you're vegan, vegetarian,
we saw the recipes,
and they did it twice to him with the donuts too. Like that fucking got me so good.
Thanks for remembering.
Yeah. No, that's good. Anything on Kristen Ritter? Obviously, I feel like she is going to be the love interest that we talked about. I feel like, did they officially say that she was killing guilty people? I don't think they just said did she? Okay,
she goes after sexual predators.
Okay, right, because the whole sister storyline and whatnot. Because I know he was like snooping on her. So yeah, like I said, that's going to be their MO, and eventually she'll find that out. And but no, I liked her. She kind of brings a similar energy all the time. Always been a big fan of Kristen Ritter, but I thought they actually still had good chemistry for being thrown together very quickly. And again, I feel like we're rushing a little bit. It's just like the driver, like, hey, we should go get coffee tomorrow. It's like, this guy's a fucking other like messed up serial killer. Like even then too, it's like, I know she's going after sexual abusers, but wouldn't you still kind of find it odd, like, why are you wanting to hook up with this guy who's like killing innocent drivers? Like,
that was the thing that was kind of bugging me. Like there is different codes, I guess, amongst them, and they just have their own niche, and Peter Dinklage doesn't really care. He just wants to get them all together to party and drink expensive wine. But I felt like just even the two of them, like, although they do have good chemistry, we're just rushing along for the sake of just advancing like the story for the show purpose, like with how quickly she just grabbed onto him. It's like, oh, you're my best friend now. Let's just hang out. Let's hang out tomorrow. Text me. And if I was back on the original Dexter show, I feel like the believability factor of just how this works would just bug me so much. It's like, why the fuck are they meeting in like coffee shops, like between Neil Patrick Harris's character and Dexter, and he's like right outside like his victim that he's just gonna go murder, and he's just
Okay,
like licking his lips. Yeah, he's looking like a hungry wolf in midday. It was just a little bit strange to me, but I think like Kristen Ritter, they're just like running together, and it just seems like for a secret society, you think like they wouldn't really want to be just hanging out.
No,
and I imagine they hang out.
I was like, what?
Yeah,
no.
I imagine they have like just day-to-day hangouts with how easily Dexter can get a hold of pretty much any of them. So that was a little bit bizarre to me, but
yeah. Little easy jumps as usual for the show. So
yeah.
We'll take a second ad break and we'll be right back. And we're back. Do you have anything more on Kristen Ritter or any of the other killers that we talked about here?
I like that she's kind of got similarities to Dexter in the sense, yes, she's killing like, predators and whatnot. But the other killers, they just there's a highlight of their like mommy issues and stuff like that. And Dexter's letting little bits of his history out, but still keeping things pretty close to the chest. And I'm curious to see what he's gonna do for his trophy. And I worry that I don't think anyone like innocent is gonna pay the price, but I'm interested to see what he does. Hopefully, he doesn't like kidnap, the guy that got on the job as an Uber and just brings him in there, cuts his head off or something.
Jesus Christ! He did say like these are good people. I shouldn't be around them this episode, So someone's gonna. I don't know, bite it, but that poor family's gonna pay the price for having Dexter as their roommate there. So, should we move on to Harrison, or is there anything more Dexter killers?
I like the ponytail character guy. I can't remember the actor's name, but very like Trinity-esque with the sense that he just like has a family that he can also just have on the side. I am interested to just have like set episodes, I guess, on those characters. But for what was I gonna throw in there? David, what's his name? David
Dalschmachsen.
I am excited to see specifically him and Michael C. Hall's just button heads episode.
Yeah.
I'm just curious how Dexter is gonna be able to like keep this going, because I imagine if they just don't hear of like an Uber driver getting his head chopped off, like how he's able to keep the persona going. And I imagine with how just how much of a reach Mr. Dinklage has with just his wealth, like I imagine they keep tabs on the members of the society to make sure they're not ratting out the rest of the crew. So I think it'll be difficult for Dexter, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's a combo of Uber drivers not going dead, the people, like they're gonna start going missing. Like one's different, but then if another one goes missing, so yeah, I think, but Harry talked about that. And I like there's some good back and forth with Harry and Dexter this episode. There's one line that James Remar just sold well. I gotta find out here. God, where is it? Oh yeah, he's like, you don't know what he's talked about some story about like these killers like just meeting up and killing people and having sex. He's like, you don't know what this is. This would be an orgy with sex and carnage. And the way James Remar said that line, I was had a good time with that. So
I was also gonna say I like the moment when they were all just kind of talking about their version of what they call like the urge, like just that itch that is creeping up on them when they like feel like they just gotta kill something. And it was just, I like the camaraderie that they kind of shared, because this is the only time they can kind of talk about their dark urges together.
Tia, anything else on Dexter and the Killers?
No, I'm excited to see how far he's gonna go. Like what excuse he's gonna have too, because I mean he's gonna look pretty fucking suspicious considering one of them is now dead. So,
well, lead us into Harrison and Batista. What do you think about their content this episode?
This is great, having Batista come in here and just popping off and just getting it, and just him identifying the way that this person was killed in the hotel, and then him going to the New York PD and just kind of talking with that detective there and breaking it down, like the Bay Harbor Butcher and everything going on there. It's just such a can of worms unfolding. Still no evidence that Dexter is indeed the Bay Harbor Butcher from their point of view. But I like that's why he's pushing Harrison, trying to get the truth out of him and whatnot. And same approach that he whipped out on Dexter, right? He's being friendly, the memories and stuff, and then he just turns and he's throwing down, and he's throwing down hard. So I really like that, and I think with Harrison. So Dexter at the end, it's not really Dexter. I think that's his like his dark passenger, right? Like Dexter has Harrison as his guardian. I don't think that was really Dexter at the police station.
Oh, I hope you're wrong. I hope that's really Dexter.
I think that
you thought so?
Is Dexter.
Yeah,
because
I took
it as like him. Dexter's like his dark passenger just appeared there. Yeah, his Harry just appeared there when he was about to do something that he didn't want to do. He felt uncomfortable and he's been stressed out. He's hearing the watch ticking and stuff, and I think that kind of explains too when he saw Dexter earlier, and then he just
don't get caught.
disappears, right? So I think that he's still living with that demon, obviously, and I just have a hunch that's it, because I just couldn't see Dexter just appearing there, because Dexter's convinced now that he's living his own life. He did what he did, and he needs to back off from Harrison.
Yeah,
now,
but this whole episode was
right?
about that guy. Remember, I have a family and I make it work. And they're like, "Oh, Brian, if you had someone to talk to," and Harry. There was like 3 or 4 times where they're trying to hit it on the head again that Harrison's going to need someone, or he's going to, even Batista, you're going to go down a dark path if you don't get help. Again, Dexter to me is not the help he should be getting, but I would pizza bet you that's the real Dexter.
You would pizza bet?
Yeah, that's the real Dexter. There's no ghost Dexter.
What do you think, Kirkland? Well, no, you're already on his side. Never mind.
I'll join Travis on that bet.
2 for 1. You'll get 2 pizzas, or you can buy us 2 pizzas.
I'm not buying 2 pizzas. No.
But then you could get 2 pizzas. One for you, one for Madison, one for Satine.
I'll just share my
I
pizza
don't
with
need
Travis.
2 this is enticing. Chat, what do you think? What do you think, chat?
Don't leave it up to them. Go with Jeff says, I like the way she looks. I don't think they care about the pizza bet, but
yeah, I'll do it. I'll pizza bet you. Put it in the Discord.
2
1
pizzas?
pizza. No, I'm not doing 2 pizzas. This is 1 pizza deal.
why
pizza
Kirkland
each.
believes
Because
2?
Kirkland said he'll share the 1 pizza with you. So
That's not what I want. I want to share with him. Buy him a pizza too.
that's the deal I agreed on. No, I'm
And
not
if
doing
not
2.
him-
I'll do it if it's a 1 pizza. I won't do it with 2. I don't need 2 pizzas.
But you do one pizza with me and one pizza with Kirk.
No.
That's for sure Dexter. That's absolutely Dexter. He's not the ghost Dexter yet. I think they might say that for if Dexter ever dies and Harrison gets a spin-off show. But
I think that's what'll happen eventually. I think Dexter's circle is closing too much.
But
now,
it's
'cause
too
now,
weird to have ghost Dexter already and then real Dexter around the same time. Like, what's gonna happen? Dexter's gonna walk in a scene while Harrison's talking to ghost Dexter. Like, yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. And for me, when I saw that, I was like, as much as I joke about Dexter being a terrible person, I'm like, yes, like let's already get to Dexter and Harrison meeting together right now, because Batista the whole time still did not tell Harrison that Dexter was alive, but I actually didn't think it was a bad play, because he's just trying to like get him like, oh well, your pops is dead, so just share some stuff, and I share your sentiment where I liked the thing is, and I don't think it was an act. I felt that Batista genuinely was happy to see Harrison, because like in the show he's seen this child, he was friends with Dexter, friends with Deb, like he had like a love for this family. So when he actually saw that, I actually thought like, oh, he did genuinely care. But then it kind of clicked it of right, the reason I'm here is because his dad might be a serial killer and did this and this, and yeah, I like Harrison is going through this moral struggle, because even Dexter had done that. Season 2 he almost turned himself in, and I loved the sit down scene, because sometimes I think the show, this is what gave me a little bit of hope. Sometimes I forget this, but this show, when he's like, oh, like your dad, he took out these people in the first conversation, then the second conversation he's like, yeah, your dad might have told you he's like some dark Avenger and did all this stuff, but it's like a lot of innocent people died because he was just doing what he's doing. I love when he's like, people that I love, like my wife, your aunt, like your mother, because like Batista didn't I don't know if I could have watched the show and been like, oh, he loves her, but in the sense of he cared about her because that's Dexter's wife and Deborah's sister-in-law, right? So like, and Batista's the most caring character in that show, right? So I could believe that Angel Batista had a love for Rita because of X, Y, and Z. So I love when he said people I loved have been taken out, and that's where, again, I hope they go full circle. Harrison he has that same experience with Coach, like the guy that like he was with that Iron Lake or whatever it is that was like his kind of adoptive dad. While fucking Dexter was running around after Kurt and doing all this stuff. Like that's what I did. That gave me a little hope of there could be some through line because Angel, like they're not playing with gloves off. Batista's pointing out that Dexter does make mistakes, and I don't even think Batista's even saying mistakes. He's just saying like innocent people are going to go down if Dexters are alive, whether it's a mistake or not, and you don't want that on your conscience. So I loved everything, and then we got Harrison making a move on that girl. I was surprised last episode they had a fight. Acted like this episode nothing ever happened, like it was just completely fine. And then this episode he tried to kiss her, she said no, but of course they didn't talk about it. He just ran the room. I'm sure it's going to be something like, well, I have a kid and I don't want to get too involved yet, but who knows, maybe she friend zones him and he just fucking kills her. I don't know, you never know with these Morgans. But I liked all the Harrison Batista stuff this episode. Well, you Kirkland.
I really enjoyed it also. I liked just how initially Batista chose to not share with Harrison that Dexter was still alive. I don't know if that was like a strategic element or he just wanted to keep it away from Harrison because it's just such a big factor and there's just so many elements to play there. But yeah, no, I liked kind of how they were in a way playing each other, like trying to get information without like revealing too much, even though like it still felt like just a genuine meetup. I liked also like Harrison's just facial reaction when he talks about like his old babysitter, which was Batista's sister, and like he's like, oh shit, like I actually remember that, and it just seemed like a genuine like heartwarming moment for him of just like remembering like a better time in his life when, you know, before all this chaos has been happening, because he's in like just a very anxiety-driven string of events ever since he murdered that man, which is, you know, very reasonable. He's a suspect in this case. He's still working there. He's picking up the watch in this episode, which I absolutely loved, of just like the audio effect of like the ticking time bomb essentially going off for his mental state to just implode. But between him and Batista, I'm excited to see a little bit more of that dynamic, and especially now that, you know, Harrison has seen Dexter for sure, not just a ghost version of himself. I'm excited to see how that all
can't wait. GV Day, I'm getting that fucking pizza. It's gonna be good. That happened last GV Day too. Remember, Taylor? You bought me pizza, I ate it live on air. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, but that was a Channing Tatum thing, which I ate my words with that.
We're going to eat your words with this. What's any difference? It's still you getting a bet wrong.
We're going to be eating your words.
This one I'm so surprised you took.
You thought Fantastic Four was going to be under Superman? I think. No,
but I didn't pizza bet anybody on that.
No, you didn't. But your prediction was wrong.
But I know when to make a pizza bet and I know when not to make a pizza bet.
You sure? You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm going to be eating that pizza.
No, I just like, especially because this bet's like a 50-50. It's not even like one of those bets where like it could go multiple ways. This is literally, is this real Dexter or not real Dexter? And it's real Dexter. I can't wait. Get a nice red swan, 2-topping pizza. It's gonna be a good time. You know, can't wait.
You gotta share with Kirkland. That's the deal.
But that's not the deal. No. Because then I'll share with Kirk when you buy us the 2 pizzas. You know. But when I get the pizzas, it's gonna be me. GV Day, August 9th.
Just having fun, man. Making movies, big adventure. Having a great time.
Having a great time. We gotta make a fucking shirt of that. I want a shirt of that so bad. The quotation.
We
big
can
adventure.
do that. It's good you mentioned Tom Cruise. He might pop up later.
Oh, okay, right. Because of that thing, I was like, how so? But anything else? Let me check my notes. But anything else in the actual episode?
What else happened here? To see NPH's like abduction technique with his fucking oxygen tank thing, like
bold,
so bold. It's like,
how does he come this far?
In New York too, not even like a buttfuck little town.
Mask.
Yeah, it'd be different if it was a little town like population of 400. Maybe they're not that well educated. It's fucking New York City, you know. But it worked against him, you know. He got taken out, so. And, of course, we got the cop listening to Bee Gees again. She met Batista. Yeah. So I'm really hoping this means Batista's going to just take over this investigation. I hope Harrison snaps and kills the Bee Gees cop, and then
You're
it's
out.
just,
Drops that line.
Batista shoots her and is like, "Your dad did this, Harrison. He shot her in 9 pieces." But I hope they at least partner up. I don't think they're killing her off, but at least I think Batista being around will make some of those cop scenes, or at least kill off her partner and have it just her and Batista. Will make it a little more palpable for me in this show. So,
agreed.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so. I really don't like the intro of this show.
Oh, yes. I finally, because I was talking about this last week, I took a video of it because I was trying to describe what the fucking opening thing is. Because, like, at least with New Blood, like I said, it was like the ice, but, like, what is this thing?
That's a manhole cover.
Manhole, I guess.
Yeah, New York is popular for that.
Yeah.
Lame.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, you can play the whole thing. It's just that's the best they come up with. Like, oh, what about a manhole cover?
That's classic. You know, whenever they do like Ninja Turtles in New York, it's always well, I guess they're in the sewers, so it makes sense. Maybe Dexter's going in the sewers. That's where he's got to go.
That's the next show. He's just this fucking mutant
Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles trying to hunt Dexter.
Oh man, yeah, Dexter v Ninja Turtles. There you go. All right.
Does Dexter like have money right now? It's just the drive share thing, or I guess he just had.
No, he
like,
just
a
made
private
like
stash.
$100,000 from the guy's cash stack, right? All the money. So
Okay, yeah, that's
true
fair.
as that. And we did
Okay,
say. Remember we talked about how like he wasn't paying taxes as Jim Lindsay and all this stuff too. So like he has. We talked about Kirk and how he probably has like a bunch of money just saved up. And plus, even when he was Dexter Morgan, he always had just like a bunch saved up in case he had to run. So I could believe for a while that he's making it. Plus, he has the driving job and the cash, like Taylor said. So
yeah, his tenant's probably pretty cheap.
Discount
rental fare.
Yeah,
it'll cost them.
It'll cost them big time. I checked your I did a background check. You did what? You fucking did what? Well, is that it? We had done for this episode?
They're gonna be just like eating dinner, the whole family singing Kumbaya.
That's a glider.
There's Dexter with his blood slides.
Oh, it's gonna be Dinklage probably and Charlie coming after Dexter, just throwing pumpkin bombs in the house.
Dexter's a good man.
You'll not take him. He's a good man.
I'll die for him. And Dexter's like, yeah, sure.
You die for me.
Yeah. Take this whole family. I'll pretend to be sad about it for a season and then forget about it episode 1. Again, Dexter's still not mentioned at all that he killed an innocent person 10 weeks ago. 10 weeks ago, he killed a fucking cop. He snapped his neck with the bars that man works
right?
And he's still
against
like,
a
sticking
cop.
to his code.
It was self-defense because he was arrested for murder. That's not self-defense. You try that in a cop tail. If you're being arrested for a crime and you fucking kill his partner, like, oh, self-defense. Like, no, you're gonna get the chair. It's over for you. You can't call self-defense.
Is
when
that
you're
why
being
Harry's
arrested.
not calling him out though? Because he's like sticking true to the code. Rule number
Technically,
1
yeah,
is
don't
not
get caught.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. So that's the thing. But I feel like Harry in real life saw what Dexter did. He's like, I get him the fuck out of here. He killed himself. So again, just the premise of Ghost Harry is always doesn't even work because it's like, no, this guy gave up on you. He saw what he created. He's like, I fucked up big time. But Dexter in his head's like, oh, Dad would be here all the time on my wedding day with Harrison, all this stuff. So
Dexter was getting annoyed with him.
He was.
So at one point, he was. What was he? He's like shitting on him for going after Neil Patrick Harris. And then he's like, you told me to go after these people. He was having an argument with himself.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this week's episode. We'll be back for episode 5 next week. And I guess we're at the halfway point now with Dexter Resurrection. See what's going to go down there. And yeah.
See if he makes it out of the show.
Yeah, and then he'll come back again, Dexter Archangel or whatnot. So
when did you want me to?
So anyways, no, you just reminded me about the initial part. Yeah. So Ted, do you know why we asked you to do this? You'd have to go back next week, or not next week, in a little bit. Go back and listen to last week's episode, but just like the last 5 minutes. I don't know how we got there, but we talked about how, because Dexter's gonna do all this stuff, be elite killer. That like, imagine if he got like recruited the FBI, and then I made the joke like, what happens if he got arrested and he's in the jail cell and Batista like sits down, and when he sits down, he like takes out the fucking rubber mask, and it's Tom Cruise. Because remember, we learned in Dead Reckoning Part 1 that they recruit criminals, right? So they can do better and like they get a whole new life. So that was our joke that because they're both Paramount, Taylor. They're owned by so that was our joke that Tom Cruise is gonna recruit Dexter Morgan to give him like a second chance, and Dexter's gonna be like on all these missions.
Show's gonna end. It fucking pulls off the mat, and then you just hear that theme. Dun, 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 dun. I would be so hyped right now if that happened. Unlikely, but I would be hyped.
Dexter, some people say you've lived an impossible life, and then and then like the next Mission Possible called like Mission Possible: something blood, right? Like something like that. So that's why we asked you to do a ChatGPT crossover, Taylor. So hit us with it.
Okay. So I had to really like
yeah, no, they're not any specific details.
I asked it like, okay, so
Expand on the relationships.
You know the the franchise of Mission Impossible, and then ChatGPT's like, yeah, okay, you know the franchise of Dexter, and it's like, yeah. So I said, okay, now write me a story that takes place after the events of Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning and after the events of Dexter: New Blood, but also
not
taken
Final
to
Reckoning though. Uh-oh.
Wasn't it Dead Reckoning?
No, Final Reckoning's the last one.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see how this goes. I did tell it, like, make sure you know that these two characters are dead, like Luther and Ilsa. Okay. So it knows that at least. But then I also told it to I asked what it knows on Resurrection, Dexter Resurrection, and that like have like I planted the seeds. So it's built a story based on where we're at in both of the franchises. So we'll see how this goes. So it's called Mission Dark Passenger is what it's called. Chapter 1, Shadows on the Cliff. The storm battered the cliffs of northern Maine, waves smashing relentlessly beneath a hidden medical facility known only as Facility Theta. Inside, surgeons worked under flickering lights until power abruptly failed. Darkness swallowed the room for several 10 seconds before emergency systems restored the light. What awaited was a grisly tableau. The surgical team lay dead, frozen mid-action, and the patient on the table had been carved open with ruthless precision, the heart missing, the spine severed. Nearby, a single blood slide lay placed carefully and smeared across the glass wall in the crimson.
If this is Dexter, what the fuck's he doing? He's taking a heart down and doing all this stuff.
Smeared across the glass wall in crimson were chilling words. Only monsters create monsters. Security cameras showed no breach, no alarms triggered, only silence as if a ghost had slipped through.
Just a regular Mission Impossible fan seeing this opening, like, what the fuck is that? They're just expecting their spy adventure, and they're getting this stuff.
Ethan Hunt's instincts flared when the report landed at IMF headquarters. Months after dismantling the entity, he had hoped for a calm, but instead... Instead, he faced a string of surgical killings targeting former CIA operatives linked to a shadowy program called Project Chimera, a clandestine experiment that once sought to create the perfect assassin by manipulating children's minds, erasing their emotions, and programming obedience through trauma and neurological conditioning.
Oh no, they're going to say that Dexter was like bred to be a killer now or something on top. But Harry put him in this program to smarten him up.
Chimera wasn't just a relic, it was alive, evolving, and its reach extended to those who should have been free. Benji Dunn's analysis revealed a chilling connection. The blood slide signature matched a pattern from Miami years ago, linked to Dexter Morgan, the Bay Harbor butcher. Presumed dead but very much alive, Ethan contacted Angel Batista, now a Homeland Security liaison.
Wait, stop. Who's presumed dead?
Dexter
Angel?
was presumed dead.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we'll say this is after Resurrection. We'll headcanon that Dexter got away again. They think he's dead. Okay.
So Ethan contacted Angel
Simon
Batista.
Pegg say the words Dexter Morgan. You're like, oh, Dexter Morgan from Miami.
Now a Homeland Security liaison who confirmed the impossible. Dexter was hunting the lingering remnants of Chimera, the same shadows of the program that had stolen Harrison's childhood and twisted him into something more than human. So the program's turned him, his son, into into a killer.
Cyborg.
That's the twist. That when he left, Hannah McKay was like, "I'm gonna put you in this program, and it's gonna help you out." And they just made him a cold-blooded killer. Okay, continue.
Batista, a man torn between duty and loyalty, became Ethan's eyes on the ground, tracking Dexter's elusive trail. But as Dexter maneuvered through the shadows, evading Ethan's relentless pursuit, his actions sparked chaos. In Brooklyn, Batista chased a lead deep into dangerous territory, caught in a deadly trap set by Chimera's hidden network. Triggered indirectly by Dexter's desperate moves to protect Harrison, Batista's vehicle exploded violently.
Was Batista in there?
Ethan arrived.
Dexter did it again. He killed another innocent Miami member.
Ethan arrived moments too late. Batista was gone. Ethan told him to be his boots on the ground.
Yeah.
His last words, barely audible over the comms, sent a shudder through Ethan's core. "It's not Dexter, it's worse." That's your last words.
It's not Dexter, it's worse.
The loss struck hard. Ethan's memories flickered to James Dokes, once a Miami detective, once an IMF agent, a man who had died trying to stop Dexter years ago. Dokes' sacrifice was a ghost haunting every step Ethan took.
Dokes would fit as an IMF agent.
Absolutely, but he would have been the guy that like doesn't get along with Ethan Hunt. Like he's like the butting heads with him. So
He just starts tailing him, following Ethan wherever he's going.
like he's in Mission Impossible 3. He goes to the dinner party. He's like, I don't know, something's up with Michelle's husband. I don't trust him. And he's just like when he's at the gas station. Hey, let me say, you ever fuck your sister?
Chapter 2, Predator and Prey. Ethan's new team had shifted. Gone were Ilsa and Luther, casualties of relentless missions. Grace, brilliant and enigmatic, and Paris, fierce and methodical, stood ready. Dexter, living as Daniel Moore, was no longer the hunted. His war was desperate and surgical, each move designed to dismantle Chimera and save Harrison from its nightmarish grip. The boy's mind was a battlefield torn by implanted obedience protocols, forced memory erasure, and violent neurological triggers. Harrison was Chimera's prototype, the ultimate weapon forged in a laboratory of cruelty. One night, the hunter became the hunted in a derelict warehouse on the outskirts of Prague. Ethan tracked Dexter relentlessly.
Hell yeah, here we go.
Closing in after a brutal firefight, but Dexter was a surgeon. And this time, it was Ethan who found himself immobilized, bound to an operating table.
The counter to a deadly firefight is, but Dexter's a surgeon. What? If I can draft an occupation to fight in a deadly firefight, I don't know if I'm going to pick a surgeon per se, but sure.
He's down on the table, though. He got Ethan.
Yeah, he got Ethan.
He's on the table, yeah. Bound to an operating table under harsh lights, scalpels gleaming ominously above him. Dexter loomed, cold and clinical, wielding tools with deadly precision. "You don't get to control this game," Dexter whispered, voice calm but charged. "Harrison's fate isn't yours to decide."
Tom Cruise is like, who the fuck is Harrison? You're just killing CIA agents, man. That's all I want you for.
The tension crackled between them, but before Dexter could make his move, Grace and Pearce stormed the warehouse, guns blazing, forcing Dexter to retreat, leaving Ethan shaken but alive.
He's a surgeon. How did he not get out of that fire?
Chapter 3, Fragile Alliance. Despite their animosity, Grace's complicated connection to Dexter deepened. She shouted him through Prague's rain-drenched streets, the relationship a volatile mix of seduction and mistrust. They shared moments of unexpected tenderness, even as they danced on opposite sides.
Who is Grace again?
Grace, that's what's her name? Captain America's girlfriend. Yeah.
Wait, this is insinuating that her and Dexter had a past together at some point?
It sounds like it now.
Oh my god! She woke him up in a little ice bath, boobs and all.
Ethan, haunted by Batista's death and Dokes' legacy, pushed harder.
Oh no! What was that? What was that last line? Haunted by Batista's death. And
haunted by Batista's death and Dokes' legacy. He pushed harder. Every lead, every close call edged him closer to a confrontation that promised to blur the line between friend and foe. Chapter 4, Crossfire in Berlin. The Berlin night was thick with fog and menace as Ethan's team tracked Dexter to a shadowy warehouse district. Intelligence hinted at a Chimera financier meeting, a key player Dexter aimed to eliminate. Ethan planned a surgical strike. Precision, speed, no collateral, but Dexter had other plans. As Ethan parachuted silently onto the roof of a private jet preparing for takeoff, a brutal mid-air confrontation erupted. Bullets shattered windows and knives glinted in zero gravity, and the jet trembled on the edge of chaos. Dexter fought with with the cold efficiency of a man with nothing left to lose, but Ethan was relentless, each move a calculated risk. When the plane burst apart mid-flight, Dexter ejected into the icy darkness below, and Ethan pursued on skis. Imagine Dexter ejecting in his chair, and then fucking Ethan jumps out on his skis.
Somehow I can believe it, though. Dexter at this point, new blood gone ready for the water, but I just love Ethan pursued on skis.
So they're dodging.
And this
explosions.
is like the big Tom Cruise stunt set piece, it too, like the ice, and
This says dodging explosions and evading Chimera operatives.
All my stunts are just on the table. I don't know what we're doing here, but I'm happy to be a part of Mission Impossible.
Meanwhile, Grace tracked Dexter to an abandoned industrial site on the outskirts of the city. Their encounter was a razor's edge. Blades and guns flashed, every strike a conversation of trust and betrayal. When a sniper's bullet found its mark on Grace, Dexter's instincts overrode years of enmity. I'm unfamiliar with that word, enmity. He dove to shield her, taking a bullet to the shoulder. Blood staining the snow, their fragile alliance becoming something else entirely, a dangerous blend of passion and war. Chapter 5, Puppet Master revealed.
So wait a second. Ethan is just getting cucked in his own movie by Dexter. It just, they said this whole final reckoning send them up as a couple, and Dexter Morgan, serial killer, comes back in town, and
like,
she's
how'd he get away? Grace is like, oh, I don't know.
he's a surgeon.
Back in Brooklyn, Ethan uncovered a horrifying truth. The chaos wasn't orchestrated by Dexter alone. A clandestine faction of rogue IMF agents had hijacked Chimera's technology. Their goal, to create a controllable army of human weapons, puppeteering global events from the shadows. Batista's death had been collateral damage in their game, an innocent casualty caught in Dexter's desperate attempts to dismantle Chimera. Ethan's resolve hardened. This war was bigger than he imagined, and Dexter was both weapon and target. Chapter 6.
But again, him taking down this network is not unbelievable based on the resurrection plot we have right now, where he's in a network of serial killers.
That's right.
It's not too far off that he would be like, what do you mean, Harrison? They trained you to be a killer? Like, I can see this shit happening now. This is where we are.
The pursuit led Ethan and his team to the Arctic, a frozen IMF black site buried beneath a glacier where Harrison was held captive. Neural reprogramming chambers glowed ominously in the dark, tethering the boy's mind to Chimera's sick design. Dr. Evelyn Messner, Chimera's deranged architect, greeted Dexter like a father welcomes a prodigal son.
Wow. Okay. No gender norms in this story. Hello, son.
Harrison was prototype 0. The living embodiment of Chimera's ambition, a boy whose memories have been erased, whose emotions suppressed, whose will bent to a cruel science. Messner activated a bio-deadman switch, and the glacier began to fracture and collapse. Ethan and Paris fought through crumbling tunnels, dodging traps and deadly sentinels. Benji hacked the security systems from orbit, racing against the clock. Amid the chaos, Dexter performed emergency surgery on Harrison. His hands steady. He's a surgeon. His hands steady despite the world crumbling around them, whispering promise.
I could see the set piece too. But you're still doing surgery and like CGI shit just all around him falling apart. This is great.
Some heavy score coming in too in that scene.
Hans Zimmer's going hard. Yeah.
He's whispering promises of love and protection. He vowed to save his son from Chimera's clutches, even if it meant tearing down every enemy in his path. All right, we're almost there. Chapter 7, Broken Lines. On the extraction flight, Harrison lay sedated, fragile as a flickering flame. Dexter sat handcuffed opposite Ethan, eyes locked in a battle as old as their war. You bend rules, Dexter said quietly. I break them, that's the difference.
Why is Ethan such a bitch in his own movie? Dexter's getting his girl. He's getting all the cool lines. All the Benji be like, we should be following this guy. Fuck, this guy's cool. God damn. And Michael C. Hall just outshining Tom Cruise in a Mission Impossible movie too. Like, just ridiculous. Continue. This is great.
Ethan's response was ice. Weapons get broken.
Yeah, that's not a cool line at all.
Yeah, Ethan, that doesn't make sense.
Grace watched from the sidelines, torn between loyalty and a dangerous affection for a man she both loved and hunted. Then came the
guys,
orders.
I got an idea.
Then came the order from IMF Command. recruit Dexter Morgan. Ethan Hunt's just reading this shit after everything he went through.
You're like, what's it say? Nothing. Just executes him on the plane. Oh my god! So Dexter just bitches him out in front of everybody, and the next message Ethan get is, "Hey, can you recruit this guy?" Oh my god!
Fucking hell.
What an ending! Was that the ending right there?
I got a post-credit scene here.
Okay. Next week, save your prompts. I'm gonna ask you to write a sequel next week. Every week we're gonna continue. Not every week, but next. I want a sequel, but we've already gone an hour. But what an ending there. Recruit Dexter Morgan. Just that Michael C. Hall smile. Just and that the blood theme seems to. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what is this post credit?
Fuck. A dimly lit bunker in rural Suriname hums with quiet energy.
Stokes.
Rain pelts the corrugulated roof. The room is Spartan. A single hanging light bulb, a Spartan, 2 chairs. On one side, Ethan Hunt, bruised and exhausted, sits with folded arms. Opposite him, Dexter Morgan, his expression unreadable.
I hate you, man.
Eyes flickering to the shadows dancing beyond the doorway. Footsteps echo from the corridor, and a door creaks open. Slowly in the air stills. In steps James Dokes.
Yeah! What the hell is this stuff?
Gasoline.
Fuck
Jesus Christ.
Fuck it. Yeah. Oh my.
Chills. Just as sure as a rock is covered in chills already.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
That's Dokes.
my God.
Finally, took a couple of years off acting, minor roles. Hey, you want to come back for Mission Impossible 9? Yes, Dokes.
Older, hardened, but unmistakably alive.
Oh, he's hardened, all right.
The
Hey,
light
Grace.
catches.
He has to say surprise, motherfucker.
The light
Again, and then whoosh, 2023, you know.
The light catches his face, scarred but defiant.
I fucked up.
Dressed in tactical black, IMF credentials clipped to his vest. The room goes dead silent. Ethan's eyes narrow. You're supposed to be dead. Dokes smirks. Yeah, I hear that a lot. Dexter.
That is a Dokes line, though. I could hear James L. King saying that. Yeah, I hear that a lot. You know, but they give Ethan no good lines in this movie, though, man. This is not Ethan's movie.
Dexter stiffens, his blood running cold, the ghost of his past now fresh in blood. Dokes steps forward, locks eyes with Dexter, and says with a voice like thunder rumbling from the grave, "You thought you burned me, motherfucker, but now I'm your new handler."
He comes out of all aggressive, and then, well, now I'm your new buddy.
Yeah.
He tosses a folder onto the table. It slides between Ethan and Dexter. On the cover, Project Harrow, Phase 2, stamped IMF Black Directive. Dokes grins, feral and calm all at once. You boys ready to clean up the real monsters? The camera pulls back. 3 men bound by death, vengeance, and duty now standing on the same side of the line. Cut to black. The iconic Mission Impossible theme thunders back to life, mixed with Dexter's eerie strings.
I would fucking love that. AIS create that somewhere. Yeah, save those prompts, or at least make sure we write.
I got it. I'm keeping it. I can prompt
next
to do a
week.
sequel.
We'll do it next week. Yeah, it has to have Dokes there. Oh my god! It's like, and you know what? There is something great of like. Can you imagine a what if where Dokes and Dexter do gotta work together? It is like the bad buddy cop thing on, he tried to kill him. Like, my God, that is just like, that's prime stuff. Paramount, steal us all. Steal us all from us. Let's do it. Let's get Dexter Mission Impossible. My God. Oh, that was tons of fun. All right. We'll be back next week for a review of episode 5. And, actually, wait a second. Kirk, are you gone next week or is it the week after?
Next week.
Okay, we'll save the Mission
skip a
Impossible
week.
sequel until Kirkland gets back. We gotta do that all together and see what Dokes, Ethan Hunt, and Dexter Morgan are getting up to, and see what's going on. Poor Batista, he didn't get to come back. You know, Dokes did, but
No, he's dead. Well, I mean, anyone could come back, I guess.
That's true.
Thought you buried me, motherfucker.
But not me, handler. All right, well, we'll be back next week, and it won't be boring.